Hey there, Alan Stafford here. Thanks for joining me. Let me guess, you have the to-do list. You know exactly what you need to do to move forward, right? Maybe it's studying for that exam, starting that business plan, or finally tackling the clutter in the garage. I know that all too well. But you know what to do, right? But you're not doing it. There's this invisible wall, this feeling of being, well, completely stuck. What if I told you that feeling isn't a character flaw? It's not laziness. It's a specific brain signal that's trying to protect you. And today, I'm going to show you how to flip the switch on that signal in less time than it takes to check your email. We're going to explore the simple neurological trick that can take you from overwhelmed to already started before your brain even has a chance to object. So let's get into the minds of, well, ourselves. Let's talk about the procrastination paradox. We call this feeling the wall of nope. You look at a big task and your brain just shuts down, basically. You feel the weight of the entire project, every single step, all at once. It's overwhelming. And here's the paradox. This isn't just unproductive, it's exhausting. The guilt and anxiety from not doing the task often consumes more energy than the task itself. See, from my perspective as a neuroscience coach, here's what's happening in your brain. Your brain's threat detection center, a little almond-shaped area called the amygdala, perceives a large, ambiguous task as a potential threat. A threat of failure, of boredom, of overwhelming effort. It screams, danger. Your prefrontal cortex, the logical planner, gets flooded with these alarm signals and defaults to the path of least resistance. And what's that path? Checking your phone, watching another video, anything for a quick, easy hit of the reward chemical dopamine. So your brain is simply trying to move you away from a perceived pain and towards a guaranteed pleasure. So how do we outsmart this ancient protective system? This is where we reclaim our mind. The solution is deceptively simple. It's called the 2-minute rule, and it has 2 parts. Part 1 is for all the small tasks that clutter our minds. And the rule is, if a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. Answering that one text, putting your dish in the dishwasher, taking out the trash, don't even write it down. Just do it. This clears out the mental RAM, so to speak, that these tiny unfinished tasks like to take up in your brain. Now, but part two is the game changer. This is for the big tasks, the ones that build that wall of nope. The rule is, when you start a new habit or a large project, make the initial action take less than 2 minutes. So let's break this down. Read a book becomes read 1 page. Go for a run becomes put on my running shoes and fill my water bottle. Write the report becomes open the document and write a single sentence. Meditate for 20 minutes becomes sit down and close my eyes for 1 minute. The point isn't to finish, the point is to start. What we're doing is making the act of starting so ridiculously easy that our brain has no reason to sound the alarm. Now I'm going to tell you, this isn't just a mind trick, it's a brain hack. It works because it directly targets 3 neurological principles. First, it lowers the activation energy. Every task has an initial energy cost to begin. The 2-minute rule lowers this cost so much that your amygdala doesn't register it as a threat. You sneak right past the guard dog, so to speak. Second, it creates a dopamine loop. So by completing that tiny 2-minute task, you give your brain a small, satisfying hit of dopamine. That's a win. The small reward creates a positive feedback loop that actually motivates you to the next step. And third, which is my favorite, it triggers the Zeigarnik effect. This is a psychological phenomenon where our brains are hardwired to remember and fixate on incomplete tasks. See, by simply starting, you open a task loop in your brain. Your brain now wants to keep going to close the loop. This is how you manufacture momentum, basically out of thin air. This brings me to a personal story here because this is something I use every single day. See, I once worked with a creator who was an expert in his field, but his content was stalling because it was, well, too academic. I told him my own story about starting this very channel. I would have an idea for a video, but the thought of scripting, shooting, and editing felt like climbing a mountain. I was completely overwhelmed. So I made a deal with myself. I'd say, Alan, just open a new document and write 3 potential titles. That was it, the whole task. It took less than 2 minutes. But what happened almost every single time is that one of those titles would spark an idea for the intro. And writing the intro would make me, well, think about the first point. An hour would go by, I'd look up and have half the script written. I didn't conquer the mountain, I just took a single ridiculously easy step and let the momentum basically carry me. I told my friend to do the same, to start with a story instead of a fact. And it changed everything for his channel. So here are your next steps. What I want you to do is make this real right now. Think of one thing you've been procrastinating on, just one. Now define your 2-minute version of that task. Is it putting your gym clothes by the door? Is it sending that one sentence of email to schedule a meeting? Is it cleaning or clearing one small corner of your desk? See, the secret to this whole system is taking immediate action. So I invite you to pause this video and go do it. So here's the final step. Let's make a commitment together. In the comments below, I want you to share your victory. Right, I just started, and tell me what 2-minute task you accomplished. By writing it down, you make it real, and you'll inspire someone else in the community who feels just as stuck as you did 5 minutes ago. Encouraging comments is a powerful way to build a community, and I reply to as many as I can. Remember, the goal isn't to brute force your way through procrastination. It's to gently and cleverly bypass the part of your brain that's holding you back. And you know what you need to do. So now you have the tool to get started. Go open that loop and keep thinking sharper. Thanks for watching.